What is up, peeps? What is up, what's up, what's up? Today I'll be doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to be doing a guide or anything like that. I'm going to be leaving out the goofiness on this one because, if anything, this message, I guess, in general, is a love letter to Halo, but also to anyone who's really worked on it and how we could help improve it together, right? So all I want for Infinite is for it to keep improving as it has been. So with that being said, I'm talking directly to the 343 team, the community, if they want to be involved in the comments below and whatnot as I'm going through this, whether it's agree, disagree, or just, having a constructive conversation around anything that can make the game better. And don't worry, I won't be going over any generic or repetitive points you already heard or anything that isn't a constructive piece of criticism, if criticism at all. So firstly, I'd like to say I really enjoy Halo Infinite. From the multiplayer to the campaign, you've done an amazing job. And I feel like the roots of Halo are being nurtured and respected, but still have been spun to have the 343 identity. For frame of reference, I'm a diehard Halo 1 through 3 and Reach fan, with 3 being my all-time fave multiplayer and campaign experience. Halo 4 on PC was awesome, especially on the Master Chief Collection, and it did feel better in today's current gaming atmosphere than it did back then. When it first came out, I wasn't huge into it, but after playing it on PC, really dug it. Halo 5 really wasn't for me, just didn't look all too appealing to me, but I know a lot of people enjoyed the multiplayer, and that's totally cool. So now that you have an idea of where I'm coming from Halo-wise, I'd like to give you an idea of kind of where I'm coming from competitive gaming-wise to better understand what I'll be talking about here in a second. And that really comes down to, ranked and improving the rank system and progress within rank. So any game you can think of, I've basically played ladder on. And that goes for genre as well, not just FPS. But with FPS, the main two that I know everyone, has played in the recent years that are relevant are, Overwatch or Valorant, or a fighting game like Street Fighter or Dragon Ball FighterZ, or heck, even Smash Bros. But we won't talk about Smash Bros. Good lord, that ranked is terrible. All that being said, though, I do know that they all have different systems, and for now we'll focus on the FPS side and their systems. So if you play currently or have played Overwatch in the past, you'll know that when you win, you're guaranteed a certain amount of rank points, and if you lose, the same goes. So it may fluctuate by 1 or 2 points, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent on what you win and what you lose. This makes winning the main priority and not self-performance, which is a pretty big issue within Halo currently, and I know that the devs are aware of this, the whole issue of everyone wanting to play Slayer, and we really just want to hear that you guys are working on that because it really is an issue. The reason I bring it up is because the first and biggest issue I have with rank currently is there's no clear indicator of what ranks you up or down. Everyone in the community is just kind of guessing, and we all think it's KD and, assist-wise that make you go up or down, even if you lose. I've lost games and gained rank. My rank tends to fluctuate between Onyx 1750 to 1650. So first example comes from a recent play session where I was matched up with other great Onyx players. Super fair match. I was actually really excited with the matchmaking. We won 4 games in a row, and this is where it got not exciting. I gained 0 rank, across all 4 of those games, not a single point. And then on the 5th and 6th game that we won, we're talking 6 wins in a row, I got 1 point each time. Now, I'm a heavy objective player because I come from Overwatch, so, that's just kind of how I am. Don't get me wrong, I can slay out and drop 40, 50 bombs, but when I'm playing oddball, I want to get the ball and run around with it. I think it's fun, and it's like a big game of keep away. So otherwise, my teammates are just playing Slayer, so I end up not getting rewarded for that. So there's nothing more frustrating than winning a game and then not feeling rewarded. So the worst part is anytime I lost, I would lose 10 to 15 points. And recently, actually, a loss took 20 points from me, which was kind of shocking. My friend actually didn't believe it until he looked at my profile and was like, oh my god, you actually just got 20 ranks sucked from you for a loss where I didn't even perform that bad. So many other players have encountered this as well, which I'm sure you're aware of and trying to find a solution 343. And I'd like to propose a similar or even a copy of Valorant or Overwatch's system in terms of points. However, with a slight adjustment. Personal performance should matter still, but only as a bonus. For instance, if I win an oddball with the most objective time or the most kills, I should get a small bonus of CSR added on to my rank. That can be anywhere from 1 to 5 points extra. Nothing extreme. 5 might be extreme actually, but enough to be a cool extra treat and make you want to perform better, but still be the main focus on winning. It'll also help players kind of speed through, the better players speed through ranked still quickly and more consistently. And that being said, we've kind of arrived at the second point, and that's something I've thought a lot on. Add more ranked tiers. I know some people might not agree with this, but not everyone belongs in Diamond, and not everyone belongs in Onyx either. An Onyx 1500 player and an Onyx 2000 player are completely different species altogether. The ranked climb in Infinite was also probably the easiest climb I've ever experienced in any competitive game. And I don't know if that's bad, I don't know if it's good, it just feels weird. It took a few days after the beta dropped it to hit Onyx max, like 4 or 5 days. I didn't have to improve my play all too much, whereas games like Valorant or Overwatch have more tiers after Diamond that further separate good players from great players. The issue causes inconsistent teammates ranked wise, and I shouldn't have a gold in my team or a plat at Onyx 1700. It's cool people can queue with their lower level friends, but it's an inconvenience to the rest of the team when you have to try and carry that gold team member who has no awareness because, they're gold. And even at Diamond 1 to 3, I see a lot of people that still really lack a lot of awareness. So more ranked tiers would honestly be amazing, like 2 extra ones, please. And just make Onyx like your top 500 basically, or your Grandmaster level. It would just make it, in my opinion, way healthier. With that being said, in most ranked games, you do have to be within a certain range of your friends' rank to even play together, and I do think that's fair. It makes healthier lobbies overall. And that being said, an additional ranked tier or 2 like Masters or GM, like I mentioned, could help further separate the casuals from the hardcore player base. And with the game trying to grow back into the esports scene again, it's healthy to do this and appreciated by the competitive community that wants to see Halo thrive. Hitting certain ranks used to mean something that could, hold significance, but hitting Onyx doesn't really feel special. And I know that kind of sucks to say because it is cool, but it's not hard at all or challenging. It just feels like, well, I played a lot and I did decent. When I look at Overwatch, like top 500 players on that leaderboard, I'm in awe of them, or Valorant or Radiant players. That's a title you strive for and one you have to work super, super hard for. I played Overwatch for years, constantly grinding. It took seasons on seasons to even get to Masters, and that was like a huge accomplishment that me and my wife had like a video of where we're like, yeah, we hit Masters. Like, it was cool. We worked really hard to get there. And Onyx is just there. It's a cool name, but it should be hard fought and earned, not just given out. I know some people are scoffing at this because they may be struggling to get out of Plat 6, but that's because, well, maybe you don't deserve, or at least aren't currently equipped to be at that rank or move past it. Each rank should require you to master another part of the game and incorporate it to your current play if you really want to move on to that next tier. I used to constantly practice on Overwatch or Valorant, new ways to improve, aim trainers, movement stuff, like warm-up lobbies, like constantly practicing. And Halo's just kind of missing that. Sure, the gameplay loop is awesome, and I'll keep coming back for that, but I don't feel like my rank is important or really matters because it just fluctuates randomly. My teammates are all over the rank spectrum, and everyone's just playing Slayer because none of us know what really ranks you up. That brings me to my next point, and one I'm really passionate about: leaderboards. Public ones, for that matter. Ones for crossplay, solo, duo, and whatever other comp types enter the field of play later on. There was something so incredibly cool about looking at the top 500 boards every day and see stats, top players you admire, and ones you can kind of snoop on their profiles and stats and whatnot. And I know I harp on and go back to Overwatch a lot, but it's because I really liked the way they had their system set up. It was very easy to navigate and just very public, and it kind of made like celebrities out of the top players, which is great for the competitive side and the content side. I realize this doesn't directly affect rank, but it does add more to the competitive community strength that makes you want to be on that list. It also is a great way for grinders to be discovered by top teams, and for the community as well to discover new content creators that are high level, cool, or educational. So I do like the weapon charm rewards and spray rewards, and you could definitely add more weapon charms. Like your peak rank could be a weapon charm similar to Valorant, or an armor coating, but overall it's not like a bad start, and I wouldn't say it's a huge priority currently in my mind. The next part might bother some, and I'm not sure how the internal team at 343 has looked at this, but I wouldn't mind longer queue times if my team was more balanced rank-wise. It sucks losing and seeing your Gold 6 teammates basically just existed, and that's it. However, I see how this could also be a challenge, since as you rank up, the player base lowers in that rank, and eventually if people are all playing at different times of the day, it would be hard to not have crazy long queue times, so maybe a workaround could be a group finder. Back to Overwatch again at one point, and still currently they have an LFG tab where you can make a lobby, set filters, and fill your squad with team members of your rank and super, specific things, and it just makes it easier to find new friends, and just build, like I said, healthier lobbies. This point could be tricky since I'm not super knowledgeable, and none of us really are as players on how this works, but an anti-cheat would be solid. I notice I'm not going to talk on anything too repetitive, and I'll try to keep this part short. It is standard in most games now, and I do realize you guys try to launch quick because, just timing-wise, it was great timing to launch the beta when you did, and while an anti-cheat is not perfect, it does help drastically. Games die quickly in today's era once cheaters flood the gates. Warzone, for instance, was a blast till every game was won by a wall hacker and I quit. I know these things take time to make, but just letting the community know that they're coming is a fantastic step. Don't become a meme for being this AAA title and Microsoft's baby, but not even having the ability to make an anti-cheat, or at least the want to do it. At least tell the community it's something that you're wanting to do and it's something you're working on. That alone would make us feel a lot better. Also, forum posts are great. And, sorry to keep going back to Overwatch, but I love how they interacted personally with their players by doing video updates from the game director. At the time, it was Jeff Kaplan, so it's cool to see the face behind the madness, or at least one of them, and kind of what they have in store. And I know you guys have done that, but it makes us more open to share with you, and also vice versa. Riot devs have done this as well, and I remember the early days of Valorant, I always look forward to the new developer updates, because same with Overwatch, they were always quick, but packed with nuggets. Now, I know you guys have done similar things in the past with your streams, but those streams are really, really long, and even though I watched all of it, I found myself skipping through to get to the stuff like I really wanted to see. So maybe just quick, hey guys, this is so-and-so from 343, here's what we're working on, here's what to expect. Alright, see you next time, Spartans. Like, it'd be way cooler, and just, you get way more info out there and way less misinformation. But yeah, anyways, we all just have terrible attention spans, blame modern media, TikTok, all that, sorry. So everyone loves competing in Halo, however, some of us aren't dreaming of becoming pros. With that being said, we still want to take our competitive side just a little bit further. We just don't have time to enter the HCS. So that being said, League of Legends does Clash, which is tournaments online where you and your friends can enter through the game to match up against similar skill level teams to compete for some store points, skins, and so on. It's super cool, and I have friends that always go back to League, even if they're not playing it consistently, just to prepare for Clash games. I've always envied that system. It's genius. Just think of the content from the community and the praise. So I know I've covered a spread of things, but I'd like to touch one last thing. And this could just be me, but like I said, if you have a similar viewpoint on this, put it in the comments below and let's talk. Or if you completely disagree, I'm totally cool with that. And that being Team Slayer and the map Beheomth. I'll keep this part short since I know 343 is very aware of this. Beheomth isn't played currently in the HCS, and honestly for good reason. It's way too big and doesn't have the comp flow, and it's not too great with BR starts because of the whole cross-map tagging over and over. You've heard all the issues over and over with this map, so I'll stop there and move to Slayer. Slayer in past Halo games worked well, and the maps were a little bit smaller, and within Ranked, at least in Halo Infinite, it plays very, very, very slow, and it's so odd because Halo Infinite shines with objective games, and it peaks there, right? Anytime I load into Slayer, all I hear is audible groans, and people just kind of like, ugh, or not want to talk at all because they just want it to be over. I don't know a single player that currently likes it, whether that's in Ranked or for the pros. It just, maybe give us Extraction from Halo 4 or something else, just to get rid of it, until a new comp mode can replace it. I totally understand if you can't do that, it's just a thought. It does kill the game flow, in my opinion, of Halo currently, and while it's fine for a mode to change how you play a map, nobody wants to play at the pace of a turtle like we're playing Valorant. That's why we're on Halo and not Valorant. Well, that about wraps up a lot of the different ways the competitive health of Halo Infinite could be improved slightly or even drastically, and I genuinely love Halo again. I want you guys to know that, and I want to see it thrive, and I do have faith that it will with time. I think it's thriving now, in fact. I mean, I think the community is there as a hardcore community, and I only see that growing. I'd love to hear the community thoughts below, like I said, on what you guys think can make a difference. Please keep it constructive and no bashing. 343, if you've listened to any of this, I'm also open to having a larger conversation if you think it could give you more insight to the team. So other than that, guys, just by all means, please subscribe. Like if it, it does help if you like it, just because I want this video to get a lot of traction and reach as many 343 guys as possible. I really think it could be a cool conversation that the community 343 and all of us could have in the comments, Twitter, and so on. So other than that, the videos will go back to being your typical, guides and news pieces and so on. And you can also check me out over at Game Leap where I help out. But yeah, other than that, guys, appreciate you stopping by. And 343, if you listened, I love you. I hope the best for Halo, and I hope this helped.